Should be about live at this moment.
We're live right now.
We are live right now.
Man, it's been a while. I'm back. Almost like a month.
It's like, I wanted to be like, Menace, you son of a bitch. When he first sees the guy Dylan after a long time.
I just, but we did one episode during the storm, right? I remember I came home on like a fucking Tuesday or Thursday, and we did like a 9 o'clock episode.
Yes, one evening. That's what we did.
Man, yeah, because I just felt bad.
Oh, you didn't care about.
I would have liked to do tomorrow night, but I'm gonna be forced again tomorrow.
Absolutely forced.
I mean, so Cuomo was getting a fucking ton of shit about the power being out. This last hurricane that came through.
Bro, he still deserves a ton of shit. That guy's a fucking idiot.
So, PSEG's was catching a ton of slack.
I was gonna say, you know who else was catching a ton of shit was PSEG.
And I mean, listen, we're doing the best we can do with what we have. We had like 2,500 dudes come in from out of state. We had people from Iowa, fucking Pennsylvania, New Jersey. Like, we had people from the Midwest came to New York to turn on Long Island alone.
What was this? Hurricane Isaiah?
Isaiah. So for practically 3 weeks straight, I was working 16-hour shifts.
I was working like 3-4 hour shifts here in the man cave, building a couch, getting some things going.
I like it. I see the wood in the back.
Bro, I'll let you get back to your hurricane story real quick, but I got something real quick. So a fucking Puerto Rican guy broke into my apartment, kicked in my screen, climbed right through the window.
Get the fuck out of here.
Bro. It was
How do you know he broke in?
Because he was like watching me sleep. Bro, it was like out of a movie. He had like his kids outside. They must have been like casing the place, waiting to rob it or something.
You know those Puerto Ricans and their kids.
They were either Mexican or Puerto Rican. You know how they all look alike. But broke in my window, was watching me sleep. And do you know who that Puerto Rican was?
It was me.
Dennis Bermudez. Is that something that you've done before?
What, broke into houses?
Yeah, climbed through someone's window.
So, my father, living upstate, but from Long Island, like you could take someone out of Long Island, but you can't take the Long Island out of them.
So you're saying that's the case with you or your dad?
I'm not from Long Island.
I know. So what are you saying? Your dad?
Right? So like, we'd be like, "Hey, Dad, gotta step out, my friends. I'll be back later." Like, all right, come home. House is completely locked. Like, dude, what the fuck? How am I supposed to get in my house?
Oh, so you broke in and
and it wasn't like, all right, here's a key for you. He never gave us house keys.
Yeah, he wasn't a house key kind of guy.
So we'd have to break in through a window.
Yeah, well, what are you gonna do? AB don't play no fucking games.
I probably broke into my dad's house. I mean, not broke in, it was more like a doggy door. It was like a Puerto Rican doggy door.
I have a camera that could have caught you that was not on.
So how does that help you, Stan?
It doesn't. I'm just saying, it would have been amazing if I did catch you doing that.
Oh.
But like your little body just...
Oh, hang on. The camera to the podcast? I definitely snuck right through where you're at right now.
No, even I have another camera, like a security camera, that's just not hooked up right now.
Wow. You're gonna hook it up tonight, though, right?
Yeah. Hypothetically, allegedly, security camera. But yeah, have you paid attention to any fighting? We are
I've been doing the best I could do.
You just been doing other manly shit.
Yeah, for example, I hung two new outdoor sconces.
You hung.
Yep.
I could see you being one of those guys that's like, yep, painted this whole place. I mean, I organized and I hired the people and we got it done.
Yes, but with my new line of work, I've been doing more hands-on shit.
All right, so you put...
So I did it under the supervision of an electrician.
Who was that? The guy from... What electrician?
Anthony Funaro.
Is it Funaro or Funaro?
I say Funaro.
You're disrespecting his ancestors.
I don't give a shit.
That's fucked up. But... All right, so you're getting a little more hands-on. What did you do during that? What did you do during the hurricane? Sit in the truck, or?
No sitting in the truck. It was like legit. It was either we were driving to 9 different parts of the island, just doing like little shit, like, or it was poles were down, the street was shut down, like. Tree crew has to come in, remove all the trees, reconductoring wire, setting poles. It was wild. I'll put up a post tomorrow.
I saw the guy from Newsday posted that he saw you. You were outside working on Mark Ramondi's house?
Yeah, but that was before the hurricane.
Oh, was it?
Mark LaMonica.
Oh, all right. That.
Which, like, I was like, man, am I gonna? Because I guess, like, with my company, like, we can't talk to media unless, like, PSEG says we can.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, edit that or something.
I told you, you're in a gray area. It would be equivalent to, oh man, because you know how we joke and say you're like a D-list or a C-list celebrity.
D.
What are you?
D. For Dennis.
All right. So let's think. D-list celebrity. I mean, would that be like Screech, or Screech is higher?
He's definitely higher. He was on like primetime TV at one point in his life. I guess so was I.
Yeah.
But he was in every episode.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? Let's say UFC, like I was in.
So where are we putting Screech? B?
He's definitely B, dude.
All right. So D. Who would be C? I'm just trying to figure out where you'd be on that, like,
Well, I think you gotta get into. You can't go general. You have to get in like categories. For example, like
I'm trying to figure out who else would get a job for PSEG that it would be comparable to, that they would recognize. You know what I mean?
Oh, everyone we're naming like doesn't need to get a real job.
They might. Screech.
I mean, if they blew through their shit.
Screech might.
Screech is definitely doing like appearances somewhere.
Screech was doing porn at one point.
Well,
you never. He's got a Screech is laying pipe.
Wow.
You never.
You saw it?
I've watched the porno, of course.
I haven't.
Anytime I hear of a celebrity sex tape, I gotta.
You have to check it out.
Gotta check it out.
All right.
I'm into it.
Hang on. All right. I'm going to give you that. It's not like you're getting lotion out and watching it, checking it out. What? Is this real?
Could have.
Well, I mean, hey, who knows? You enter the screen open-minded. I like that.
Yeah. I could just be sitting there going through my search and it could pop up, or I could happen to go celebrity, and if I see that, I'll go, oh, let me see that. And if it.
Oh, I thought you said, like, let's say you hear of it on the radio. You're like, oh, let me see what it's about. Look at it.
That's it. No, both of them. Real. That too. That's how I'll find out about it, and then I'll maybe watch it right there, and then I'll either be like, "Oh shit, I gotta go somewhere," right?
I'm feeling a little tension.
Yeah. Something I've been watching lately on quarantine is South Park. Such a funny show.
Oh, amazing! I'm like mad at myself that I don't watch it enough. Now, one reason why I haven't been watching South Park as much as I'd like to is that every episode is connected. So you can't just like episode or season, 22, episode 11.
No, you can. There's some.
You can, but there's links to the prior episode that make it even funny. That one episode funnier.
Yes, this is true.
So, you know, you kind of gotta follow it a little bit. So, you know, it's almost like watching like a fucking series where you gotta be like paying attention. Yo, a show I just started watching last night that two nights ago. That I was like, this is fucking not bad. It was like the first thing up there on Netflix was Ballin'?
Ballers?
Balls?
Ballers?
No, not with The Rock. It's a cartoon.
Not with your 2020 presidential choice, Dwayne Johnson?
No. Is he really going for president?
No, but I was laughing at that clip that when we were talking to Wade.
Oh, who would be a good president, right?
Yeah. And I'm like, you know, you must not have been really listening to me. And that's America and casual voters and, you know, people who don't pay attention to politics right there in a nutshell. You were just like hanging out, kind of listening to the conversation. And I was like, you know, if they want to win, they go for The Rock. And then all the dumb people are going to come out and you were like, you threw your phone and you were like, if you don't think I'm voting for The Rock.
Well, I'm a big fan. I just, you know, I'm a supporter of The Rock, so.
Like, you like wouldn't listen to any of his political views and nothing. You wouldn't pay attention to anything the news says. You would just show up and vote for him. Then I'd be like, yeah, The Rock's a communist, you know? He's pushing all these crazy political ideas.
Hang on. If I know The Rock, he's not going to be running the country for pussies.
No, absolutely
It's going to benefit me.
All right. So you think you'd surge in that economy?
Yeah. The Rock was.
I like where your head's at.
Work hard, get yours, you know.
Yeah. So, what fights did you watch? You watched Chris Weidman.
I watched Chris Weidman. I saw my brother sent me some clips of Frankie Edgar.
It's almost been like a month. So even that, something I noticed when I was looking through clips and stuff, we didn't talk anything about DC Stipe.
DC Stipe, yeah. I missed that card. That card was epic.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I mean,
yeah, Epic was a little far.
Yeah, Epic was like, ooh, I pulled back on that one.
Oh, right, because what's his face like rolled his ankle.
I don't even know what happened. Like nothing happened. It didn't roll over. There wasn't no camera thing like that. He just took a step and all of a sudden was
he definitely rolled his ankle. I saw it.
They showed a video. I didn't see a video of him rolling his ankle.
Yeah. He stepped on like the outside of his foot and it rolled over.
Oh, I didn't really.
They pulled it back.
Yeah, I didn't really see a roll, but I'd have to rewatch it, I guess. But I saw him
definitely rolled.
All right. Well, yeah, he like stumbled real quick and then he got fucked up on the ground. But even that fight was competitive, very competitive. He was probably losing the fight before that. Not getting smoked, but getting backed up and not being the flashy.
Pretty early, no? What was it, second round or first round?
First round, but it wasn't like, you know how usually Sean O'Malley starts quick, he's spinning and shit.
Yeah.
It wasn't that. Chito Vera was like, nah, not today, young guy. You know, what's up? You know?
He was young too, dude.
Yeah, but he was like, you know, this is how we do it in the barrio. Was like, was literally.
It's really funny because when we were at the UFC retreat, it was like the whole Long Island crew and Chito.
Yeah.
Like he loved chilling. He's like, you guys are the best. Like, but it was funny because he was the smallest guy. So you know LaFleur, Weidman are like little guy, like get out of here. Like they were like, but he was cool with it. He's like, I'm with the guy, you know. He's a good dude. I'm like, dude, you fit right in with us.
Why don't you?
He's quiet. We were, you know, people would pick fun at him just for, you know, whatever. You know, he was also very young at the time.
You should.
He was like, yeah.
You should shoot that shot and get Chito on the show sometime.
Get Chito on the show.
But even it's like, you know, whenever I look at fights, a lot of times I look at the guy's record and I look at how he was beat. You know what I mean? Like, you expect O'Malley to walk in and highlight reel knockout Chito Vera. Chito Vera's got like 20-something fights.
Yeah, we talked about that. He's got a lot of fights, and he's finished his last, like, 7 fights, right?
And
6 out of 7?
And he's never been stopped.
Yeah.
You know, he's fucking really tough.
It's good.
Yeah, but I think O'Malley will bounce back. Everyone loses.
O'Malley has an asterisk next to that loss.
Because of the ankle?
1,000,000%.
All right, but it is the same exact thing that happened pretty much for Sukumta. Remember that fight? Your boy Sukumta? Andre Sukumta, like, O'Malley hurt his foot, and Sukumta just kept taking him down instead of beating him up on the feet, and then, like, taking him down and holding him down.
Right.
Chito saw that he couldn't get, I forget how he got him down, if he took him down or, like, whatever, he stumbled down. Cheeto got on top of him and was like, oh, you're going to learn today, and started landing fucking elbows and fucking him up. Like, it wasn't going, the fight didn't end because his ankle was hurt. The fight ended because he got fucking rocked from elbows.
Yeah.
And he went limp for him. He was there. The fight could have maybe went another punch or two, but he went limp for a second.
Right. I'm not, you know, my brother saw the fight. Me and him think alike. It was just like, he was, after his ankle got rolled, he was losing that fight. Didn't matter if he's fucking, and it was a little bit of an early stoppage because even the ref saw, like, dude, you're fucked.
But here's what I'm saying. Like, it happened before to him. Like, Chito Vera just capitalized on it. Like, Sukumta didn't get to capitalize on it. Shit like that happens in fighting, you know? It's a L.
For sure. You got to figure it out.
If him and Chito Vera fight again, Chito Vera wins the rematch. Like, I think now Chito Vera's just in his head. He's going to have
wrong.
You think I'm wrong?
No, I don't think you're wrong.
Oh, well, there's always the what if in fighting, but I think, like, Chito Vera is just going to do the same thing again. And not that O'Malley's going to hurt his ankle and lose that way, or he's going to finish him with elbows underground before he hurt his ankle, what the fight was like. You know what I mean?
I mean, there are people that are like Frankie Edgar, where like, what? And Uriah Faber, like, what? My hand's broken? Like, okay, I'll just use my elbow, you know? Then there's this, like, there's a new age where, like, I'm not 100% right now.
Well, that's one of the greatest stories is Uriah Faber with that he broke both his elbows and started throwing.
He broke both his hands and started throwing elbows.
Yes, correction.
Yeah.
But Frankie Edgar, we'll jump back real quick. We'll get a little moment with Weidman. He needed that one.
Oh, man.
Like, I know you watched that fight live. We were texting back and forth a little bit.
That's pretty much like, I actually tuned in just to catch that fight, you know. And it was a little earlier, which I was able to.
Yeah, that was an early card for some reason.
Yeah. But so me and you were talking. First round was Weidman, but it wasn't like he blew him away.
He worked for that win in that first round.
You know, second round, I was like, oh, shit. My man is smoked right now. He's totally gassed.
Hit that wall.
And then you told me the odds going to the third round where Weidman was plus 240 on, like, live betting. I was like, holy shit. I'm like, at that point in time, I'm like, dude, this dude should maybe consider hanging it up, you know? Goes out there, just goes back to the basics. He can wrestle like a motherfucker for days. He's a fucking awesome wrestler. I tell you what, if he was going against another really, really, really good wrestler,
might have been in trouble.
Might have been a different story. You know, he wouldn't be able just to fucking take the guy down and ride him out. Was.
And you know how it is a lot of the time too. Like, if you're tired, the other guy's tired too. So
yes.
That guy didn't have a huge gas tank to capitalize on.
Right. But if you're a good wrestler, you don't need quite the gas tank because you know the technique.
Yeah.
If you don't know how to wrestle your way out of a wet paper bag, you need to use a fucking ton of energy to get up. You know what I mean?
And then, like I told you, right after the fight, Luke Rockhold was like, I think I'm ready to make a comeback. You got to shoot that shot, too. Because like Chaz said, I think Luke Rockhold will come on this show and have a good time.
Yeah, for sure. I tell you what, Luke Rockhold's one of those fucking guys, when I'm around him, not that he makes me uneasy, just like I feel like I'm being judged constantly. Like I can't be myself.
Why do you feel that way?
Like I'll say one dumb thing like, yeah, right, you're what? You're like, what the fuck did you just say? And I'm like, oh, nothing, Luke. Calvin Klein, right? Like, you're not even making sense. Get this fucking guy here. Like, all right, no, see you later, Luke, you know? I was hanging out, you know.
I think it's Ralph Lauren. It's not even Calvin Klein.
That'd be funny. That makes it even twice better.
Yeah, 100%. That's what made me laugh, is that if you would have said that to me. Whoa.
COVID coming back, Stan.
No. But I know, like, that you didn't know the answer there. Like, you thought it was Calvin Klein.
I did.
So, like, he would have saw the seriousness in your face and would have been like, get the fuck away from me. Just get away from me. I'm done with you. But, yeah.
Ralph Lauren, would you say that's a higher class designer than Calvin Klein? I would say they're right there.
Right there. I would actually put Calvin Klein above them, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
They're definitely right there, but I feel like Ralph Lauren might be like just a fucking sea hair.
Pretty close. Pretty close. But what else we got? So we touched on Weidman. We're obviously going to be an East Coast heavy show, unless this fight card's coming up. But the Frankie Edgar fight, like I was talking to you about, very controversial. In my opinion. Just because, not even like I told you, I thought it could have went either way, but by controversial, I mean...
I say the same thing.
By controversial, that's what I mean. It's one of those fights that... Oh, man, like this one sucks to judge. It depends on what you...
Everybody I spoke to said the same thing, because Frankie was landing more volume, but Munhoz was landing fucking huge shots.
Yeah.
You know?
Munhoz is a tough guy to fight, because Munhoz is, every time you step in, something's coming as hard as he could throw it.
Yeah.
Every time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't throw these.
Yeah, no.
There's nothing to feel out or anything like that.
Step back, plants, and fucking digs.
Yeah, he tries to time you with haymakers.
Yeah.
And he was catching Frankie Edgar. Like, Frankie Edgar ate them well. But even...
Which is right. I mean, different weight class. He's had fights where he's been knocked out, so you're like, oh man, less weight, less water in the brain. How is he going to handle big shots?
It's one of those things, though. I think he should have been at 135 the whole time.
He said that.
I think it's been that the whole time. You know,
he looked amazing, like aesthetically.
Yeah, but the shots are way different. Like I think, 45ers hit hard, 55ers hit. I mean, everyone hits hard, but 45ers definitely hit harder. 55ers definitely hit harder. 35ers, you're in the 25er range. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's...
Yeah, that's why Cody Garbrandt is like, oh shit, this dude sleeps motherfuckers. Even fucking Sugar Shane.
Well, even Cejudo was sleeping people, and now even Cody's about to go to 125. Like something I talked about with... I don't know if I talked about... I think I did talk about it a little bit with you. Apparently, it's official. So the same way I was saying, because of his following and he has a big win, if Cody Garbrandt wants, all he has to do is say, I want that title.
Yeah.
I want that fight.
It's unfortunate. It's a goddamn popularity contest.
Bro.
You don't have to drop. You don't have to change weight classes and be like, it's weird when you go up, except for Jon Jones.
Who's going up now, too. We'll talk about that in a minute as well.
Has anybody gone up and got an immediate title shot? Max Holloway.
Cormier.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like underneath 55.
BJ
Has
Penn.
anyone go from 35 to 45 and got a title shot, or 45 to 55? Max Holloway did.
BJ went
but
from
on some short notice.
Yeah, and BJ went from 55 to 70. No, I don't think so. An immediate title shot.
When you drop down, yep, we'll give you a title shot.
Oh, and even remember we talked about it, and I said that the reason Dana wasn't saying that it was Aljamain next is he was waiting for the Frankie Edgar fight to happen.
Oh, so you're saying if Frankie Edgar smoked him?
Yep, that fight finally happened. They asked Dana White the question for the 100th time, where every other time he dances around it and says no or something else. He went, "Yep, looks like Aljamain's next." Right?
Aljamain smoked Sandhagen.
Yeah, but even that was. And
I think that's next fight for Frankie, or is Frankie on deck for the title?
no, they're doing Sandhagen versus Marlon Moraes.
Oof.
That's a tough night for Sandhagen, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
If he could do the same thing he did with Lineker, though, but I think Marlon's a different animal than Lineker.
Yeah.
But
Sandhagen, you just look at him, you're like, you're just a little boy. I don't, like, that's my...
Yeah, he's tough.
But I'm sure as soon as you're across from him, you're like, see how fucking long his range is? You're like, all right, you kind of suck. This is annoying. I don't want to do this right now,
Right before the bell rings and go, Bermudez, little boy, right?
Yeah.
Ding, ding, ding. And then you'd be like, oh, man.
Like we talked about, I have like the, like a muscle complex. Like
Yeah.
you have no muscles, I'm like, I'll fucking smash you.
Then right when the bell rings, you go, oh, he looks like a man. No, he actually...
Well, yeah, the bell rings and then they start throwing jabs at you. You're like, you're getting me.
Yeah.
And I'm really far away.
Yeah, but I think that's going to be a good
They
one.
stink and you're like, oh, okay, you do have no muscle, but you can hit hard. This sucks.
But now, Edgar beat in the rankings, beats Munhoz. Who knows who goes where, but Aljamain is now going to be next for a title shot, is what they're saying. So,
Which is well deserved.
yeah. But
Well deserved.
that's a tough night, though, Petr Yan.
Yeah, it's no cakewalk.
Would you think Aljamain better to work a ground game in that fight, or
1,000,000%. If he can get the takedown.
try to get on his back and choke him out?
Yes. 1,000,000%.
Like,
Not if. I definitely think Aljamain could take him down.
yeah.
But he needs to do what Aljamain does. Draw him in. Petr Yan gets like, are we gonna fucking fight or not? Like, let's fucking throw these. Gets aggressive, starts coming forward. Aljamain level chain takedown.
Yeah. Hit him with a counter, level change, takedown.
Yeah.
All right. So, Aljamain, Petr Yan, they didn't announce a date yet. What else we got? Like I said, we didn't talk about DC Stipe at all.
Yeah.
And you said you didn't I thought it was good, but
it's good for the current belt that Stipe won. It's good for like building up these upcoming fights and shit like that. It just sucks for DC. DC could have went on this like fucking out on this like, the dude's a goat. He's an animal.
DC,
One of the best to ever do it. And the thing is, I also think DC's past his prime.
it's 40, 41.
Imagine he got into MMA when he was fucking, instead of chasing the Olympics,
Yeah.
he was, or even like came in at like 25.
But he wouldn't have had that wrestling pedigree. His wrestling pedigree wouldn't have been as high.
Well, what I'm saying, like, it's not the
Like, granted, Stipe...
the inches and the fractions of getting better in wrestling at that level, like Olympics, is so minute in MMA. You know what I mean? But what is getting crazier is the mentality.
What do you mean?
So maybe, let's say like you go from high school to college and you get 2 feet better, right? Then you go from college and you go into the Olympics, you get, 1 foot better or 6 inches better. Like when you're in the Olympic level, like you're only gaining an inch or 2 from when you started to when you ended. But in technique. But what changes is like this up here. Like your mindset and your belief and that like I'm fucking this win. Nothing's
me and you were talking about that today. Your reps in. Once you have that experience and like you get your reps in.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and also like like let's say like you're very young, you go to the state tournament, you see what it looks like. You're not even eligible to be there. You just see what it looks like.
Yeah.
The next year you go there, you competed in it, you wrestle in it, you know what it feels like. So when you come back, you know what to expect. So that's a lot of times, like when people fight for a title, the very first time they're gonna lose. They haven't been there before. They don't know. It's just too much pressure. So when they fight for a title for a second time, like I've been here before. I've done this.
Yeah.
There's no if they're good enough, there's no shock appeal to it. Like you've already felt it. You already been there. You already lived it.
And yeah, something else I saw as well. Your boy Werdum looks like he's moving on to one championship or Bellator. Yeah.
Good for him. I mean, he fought out his contract right with the UFC.
He wrote and he said he wants a super fight with Fedor in Bellator, or he wants Brandon Vera in one because Brandon Vera is his son.
I don't get that.
He's calling him his son.
Because he used to beat the shit out of him back in the day?
I don't know.
I think they used to train together back in the day.
Oh, so Werdum probably definitely fucked him up. I would think.
Hang on, Brad. Sorry, I'm thinking of Schwab.
Why? Werdum was probably in that. Oh no, Werdum was never in Alliance ever.
No, I'm thinking of Schwab.
Yeah, he trained with Vera. Possibly. But what else you got going on in your life? Vera's old. Vera's like 42.
Yeah, so he's trying to do like super fights with like
other old people. He's 40. He's like 40. I think how old is he? He's like 45 or something.
Cause hang on, his last fight, I thought he could win, but I was like,
he did. He did win.
I know he did.
Yeah.
But I was like, man, this is a tough fight. I'm not like I don't. If you think I'm gonna throw money in this fight, I'm not.
And then Brandon Vera's last fight, he got fucked up.
By our guy, right?
Yeah, by Ung.
Yeah. That's not even in that weight class.
He's 43.
That's not even in that weight class.
No, but he's nasty. He's
Ung went up, whooped that ass, champ.
Oh, even that. So even like what it made me think of was Roy Jones. So I don't know if you were a big boxing fan when you were younger. Roy Jones, remember he like moved up to heavyweight at one point and like got on some supplements, got all yoked up, moved up to heavyweight, and then soon after took a fight at light heavyweight and dropped like 50 pounds. You know what I mean? Like dropped back down, went from like 230 or 223 to 175. And he said it really fucked him up, like that drastic of a weight cut and whatnot. And I feel like that could have happened maybe to Ryan Bader, or maybe he just had a weight cut and just the adjustment because he got fucked up the other night by like the guy who's like Fedor's understudy.
Who are you talking about?
Ryan Bader. Ryan
Oh,
Bader.
I thought you were talking about Roy Jones.
Well, that's what happened with Roy Jones. Roy Jones fought at heavyweight, then cut weight, moved down to light heavyweight, got knocked out by Tarver.
All right.
Or was that when he lost the decision to Tarver? Or won a decision, a close fight, I forget, but that's what happened with Bader. Bader finally moved. He hasn't fought at light heavyweight in like three and a half years, you know? Long time. Like I saw someone post a meme like that. They were like,
What's Bader have to do with anything? Is he fighting again, or?
well, I brought him up because he was a double champ, and that's why I was bringing him up.
Oh, people like after Conor did it, right? Everyone was chasing champ.
Yeah, but even
that's like a thing to do.
We got to get. I need you to shoot another shot with Heidi, and I would love to get Dana back on the show, or shoot another shot with Dana. And I want to mention that to Dana. Like, Dana being a big boxing guy, like, even for me, like, I know we've talked about it a little bit. You're not really a fan of it, per se, like, adding more weight classes.
Man, I did. Wait, adding more weight classes. All right.
Why? What were you saying you're a fan of?
No, I like boxing. I just don't go out of my way to watch it, you know?
Well, boxing has more weight classes. So what'll happen in boxing with the more weight classes is they have people that are 5-6 division world champions, and then they're more marketable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you hear that number, and it's like, oh shit. When they just say champ or 2-weight world champ in MMA, it's like, oh, that's cool, but it's been done a bunch of times.
Yeah, but what do you mean a bunch of times? There's a small group of people that are champs.
You get what I mean? It's been done more than once. It's going to start turning into more of a thing, I think, over time.
Yeah, but the thing is people want to see these weight classes. Well, the thing is, like, if you have these, because they're only one person.
Yeah.
Now you're going to start clogging up weight classes for other people to have a shot at the title. Because let's say you own 3 titles, how many times are you going to fight a year?
Interim title. Obviously, you got to come up with some type of protocol for it. Like interim titles are, I don't know. I think it's... I'm just saying.
Exciting, but you're not the real champion.
I'm just saying, for my argument's sake, if UFC's trying to make some marketing money and have something to really market, a 3-weight world champion, even market a fight, a potentially 4-weight world champion or something like that is a huge marketing draw, I believe. So that's just why I say it. They could do like every 10 pounds.
Yeah, but again, boxers can fight more frequently than MMA guys.
Can they? What do you mean? I think
they did. What do you mean? These dudes have 75 fights, but by the time they're 20 years old.
So I guess you're saying MMA is.
How many MMA guys you don't have 75 MMA fights throughout their career?
In like Iowa.
Okay, yeah. How many?
There's a lot. There's guys in Iowa and states like that, in like the middle of the country, they fight there's guys that like will fight like every weekend. Like sanctioned MMA fights, but the fights don't go on their like pro record. They're like in a barn, in a field with a cage.
Yeah, but I'm saying there's guys in boxing, it's recorded, have...
Yeah.
You hear all the time, like, oh, dude, this guy's 120 amateur boxing fights. You're like, what?
Well, they have a more established amateur system in place. So you're
like Joanna, champion. She got like fucking 75 kickboxing fights.
Yeah.
You could just, I don't know what, is it the culture? Is it the...
MMA is not as established. There's not as many promotions, I guess. And then also,
I did fight 9 times in 1 year.
Also the culture.
I guess if I kept that up.
Yeah.
9 times 10, I could have fought 90 times, I guess.
Also the culture. Like boxing was always here and MMA was here. And I think now it's like here. Where boxing's down here a little bit and MMA's up here.
You know what it is? Probably the size of the gloves, in all honesty.
Is what?
The size of the gloves.
Is what?
Probably why people can fight more. You know what I mean? And lack of like cuts and shit like that. And
I would even say because the sport is harder on your body, having to train all the other elements and grapple and kickbox.
Yeah, but I guess I don't know because you could. Like when I first started fighting, I would just take people down and ground pound them, and I was fine. I could do that 7 more times that same night if I needed to, you know.
But it
wasn't until I got like more advanced in my striking that my shins would be like fuck. I'd be limping out of the cage.
Would you have been a little more bumped and bruised though, had in some of those fights you ran into a tougher opponent, or a more compatible skill wise, like another wrestler, or?
Well, like I said, I didn't know how to kick properly. I didn't know how to like deliver like a real blow correctly.
Yeah.
Like it's like a double-edged sword, being able to kick really hard.
Well, like I've seen what you did in boxing before, and it's been done in MMA, like where a guy just went, nope, 8 to 10 fights, boom, blown out in a year. You know what I mean? Like they fought every other month or fought every month and just blew out some fucking.
Again, it also might just like, you know, it might just be the culture, like I was saying, you know, like.
Yeah, MMA is slowly getting there. I think, especially with them being the sport that was the first one back in the corona.
Yeah, and then also like when you fight, you get like you see a doctor and then you get suspended for like 30, like a minimum of like 30 days unless another doctor proves it.
Yeah.
Unless like you go in there and just fuck the guy up and they're like, all right, you're fine. You good? All right.
Yes. Well, even speaking of UFC doctors and shit like that, I guess I was segueing there thinking doctors and drugs and whatnot, but Jon Jones vacated the light heavyweight belt.
Is it because he doesn't want to make the weight anymore, or is it just like, oh, I fuck up DC gives Stipe a really hard time, I'll crush Stipe?
Yeah, probably. I think it came right after the fight too, so like I think it was probably the happenings were weeks before and whatever, and then he announced it right after DC Stipe, and he said like the heavyweight division looks sweet, you know, or something like that, some shit, but vacated the light heavyweight belt. Light heavyweight's going to be Jan Blachowicz versus Dom Reyes for the title. It'll be the first time since like 2010 that DC or Jon Jones are not fighting for the title.
Hey, what? Stipe versus Jones is a very like hair-raising fight.
Yeah.
Like that's a dope fight.
If Jon Jones wins that, does he just go out? I just right there he could retire as like.
Yeah, I mean retire, but what are his finances?
All right, I guess that he's probably well off. I think
he's definitely well off, but like he has Bentleys. It's not like I mean, I like I said, what are his finances? Does he have a financial advisor who's investing shit for him? Does he have other income except for fighting? Like I know he's got a few kids, right?
Yeah, or does he have like this? Let me take you into my Jordan room, and he's got a room full of Jordans, like shit like that.
I don't know how big his house is. There's a lot of what ifs, or
I think the cost of living is a little cheaper though too, where he lives, New Mexico.
For sure. Is that his only house?
Probably lives in New York too, upstate.
Yeah, that's what I'm. I don't like. Does he pay for? Well. I was gonna say, does he pay for his parent shit? But his brothers are ballers too.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Brothers have a ton of money, which becomes the keeping up with the Joneses. Like, what'd you get? Oh, you got the new Porsche. Okay, let me go cop the new Lambo. You know what I mean? It's especially if they're as competitive as my brothers are, which they're all professional athletes. I'm the only professional athlete in my family, and like. We're constantly competing about like, oh, what'd you get? Oh yeah, all right.
Keeping up with the Joneses, and their name is Jones. I like what you did there.
I didn't even mean to do it.
I think you did.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think you're smarter than you realize.
Yeah. Right.
But yeah, I don't think there were any major happenings in MMA unless I'm like something slipping my mind.
So he is how old?
Who?
He's my age. He's like 34, 35.
Who?
Jon Jones.
Yeah, something like that.
Does he have enough money to provide for his family and himself? Let's just fuck his kids. Does he have enough money to provide for himself and his significant other till he's, let's give him the 85?
What if he doesn't care about that bitch and he only cares about his kids? Does he have enough money?
I wasn't saying.
Does he have enough?
Right.
Does he have enough money to forget about that bitch, just worry about his kids, and live his lifestyle?
All right, fuck the wife, fuck the kids. Will he have enough money to take care of just himself till he's 85? Yet alone, throw on a few kids and a chick.
I think he's got a good amount of money. I think he made.
How much money do you need to be able to do that?
At what point do you get pay-per-view points? Like he's been the main event of pay-per-view since 2011. You know what I mean?
He indefinitely has to have 20 million minimum in like liquid in the bank.
Even if you lowball and he's got 5.
Yeah, but you cannot live to your 85. Actually, you could.
Yeah, you could, unless you're living exponentially.
Like, you can't have a Bentley, though.
Can't have a Bentley, that's true. I mean, maybe the Bentley, though, was purchased, and the Bentley's paid off, and just let it depreciate. There's no interest on it.
You can't have 5 million liquid, and your 2 brothers are in the NFL. Balling out of control.
I'm lowballing it. I'm saying
I know that.
If he's spending like crazy, I think he's well off enough that he could be like peace out, fight game. But he moved.
If you gave me 5 million, like Dennis, how you're living right now, you can invest it right. You can live exactly how you're living right now until you're 85. I'll be like, all right, cool.
But they were like, Dana, Jon Jones relinquished the light heavyweight belt. What are we doing there? And Dana went, Francis Ngannou's next, and then we'll see what happens with Jon Jones. So they might have Jon Jones fight somebody first and not move right up and get a title shot, which I think is crazy. He's Jon Jones. He's just move right up and, pick whoever he wants.
They're mad at him.
Yeah, but he should pick whoever he wants. But then, him versus Francis or him versus Stipe. I'm interested in.
I'm very interested. I think I don't know. Cause
alright, talk to me, Menace. Saturday night's the fight. Stipe, Jon Jones. Who do you think's gonna win?
I think Jon Jones. Only because I think he's a better wrestler. I think he has more tools in his striking. But I think Stipe can wrestle really well, and I think Stipe hits harder.
All right. I think Jon Jones wins, and then he fails a drug test for cocaine.
Oh, wow. Cocaine, not PEDs, huh?
Cocaine. And then it's like, what happened? And he was like, it was all just going too good. I had to fucking... It was all going too good. I was in Vegas.
Yeah, but I also think Stipe hits harder than anybody else that Jon Jones has ever fought.
And then USADA changes the regulations and the metabolite amount of cocaine that you can have in your system. And they're going to call that the Jon Jones Rule.
Why are you dogging my guy?
Why am I what?
You're dogging Jon Jones right now.
No, I'm not. I'm supporting him. What are you talking about?
saying he should be allowed to have more cocaine in his body?
Yeah. I'm saying he should be able to do what he wants.
I guess.
I'm saying any of his past discretions involving
because I've never done cocaine, but in my head,
neither have I.
It's like if you did cocaine fight night, like you're gonna fight probably pretty good.
Here's one. I'm
right?
not. I've never done cocaine in my life, but I'm a cocaine advocate. If you're going to abuse it, like we saw Scarface, we know what happens if you abuse it. That's bad news. But if you want to do it recreationally and you're fun,
yeah. But could you use cocaine to get like as a PD, like to get better training in and shit like that? And
I don't know.
I've never taken it, so I don't know. But I've talked to people like it's like a fucking amazing energy drink.
That'd be a question for Vinny the Chin.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, "Of course it fucking is, Dennis."
Yeah. Man, he's been going on that other podcast all the time now.
Well, they record late. Like right now is when we need to record to get Vinny the Chin on. I didn't realize we'd be doing it this late. Otherwise, I would have got him on.
I feel like, in my head, I feel like they like saw that we had something good there, and they're like, "Let's make that." Are they sponsoring him now? Kimura Coffee is sponsoring him?
I don't know. Maybe.
I heard that. I heard him say it. I don't know if it was like just because he's on the show and he's talking about one of his stories, but like, we got nothing to offer.
I'll believe it. What do you mean? He snorted all our fucking G Fuel.
Yeah, but we're not giving him free G Fuel.
So he snorted out of a container of G Fuel, and then when he left, we took the G Fuel container back. We were like, no. That stays.
Really?
Yeah.
You gave it to him? I don't know.
No, I took it back. It wasn't
ours.
Yeah, it wasn't mine.
Yikes.
I remember even at one point.
I feel like we're missing stuff. Are we missing stuff?
As far as what? Things to talk about?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's good fights that we missed.
No.
Let's go. The past the past. I'm late because I've been working. What we got coming up?
Bro, I heard you were shaking your dick on a pole. That's what I heard. I heard old ladies were like, "I need power," and they were going like that with dollar bills as you were up on the pole.
Hey. No, man, I was coming home. I would shout. Here was my move. I would come home, take a beer or two, put in the freezer, do a couple little fucking house things that took like 10 minutes, take a shower, get out, drink a beer or two, and then go right to bed, then do it again. I was just doing it for 20 days straight.
Imagine a world where they like closed down all the strip clubs. And like there were people that were just so obsessed with throwing dollars at people up on a pole.
Wow.
That like one day you would just like, what the fuck is this guy doing? And the guy was like, yeah, that's right. Keep doing that. Keep doing that. Ooh, I like this one. I'm gonna go do that one day. I'm gonna go tip.
What card we have coming up, Buzz?
An unknown, one of those unknown cards that you love. Ooh, that's another thing. Did we talk about? I don't think we did. We'll talk about that quick. Your boy Benson Henderson.
Oh, against
Michael Chandler.
Yeah.
Real tough night.
Yes.
But even I'd like you to shoot that shot and try to get. I'll shoot a shot as well. Try to get Michael Chandler on because he's fought out his contract. Now he might go to the UFC. So one fight that was supposed to happen this weekend, but is not now because Ryan Hall pulled out, was Ryan Hall versus Ricardo Lamas.
What a fucking pussy. Why did he pull out?
I don't know why he pulled out, but...
I saw touchy-feely against that Mitch cat.
Who did I see touchy-feely?
Mitchell?
Oh, Bryce Mitchell. Yeah.
Bryce Mitchell. I'm like, that's an interesting one.
That's an interesting one.
Because Bryce Mitchell's kind of... I mean, he's just... I think it should be Bryce Mitchell versus Ryan Hall.
Yeah. Bryce Mitchell striking is where his hole is right now. And his ground game seems like it's pretty solid.
Because Moose is no slouch. He's a black belt, and he just got fucking like he looked like he didn't know jiu-jitsu. I was like, is this real?
Yeah. All right, so you don't know.
Hang on. If Bryce Mitchell takes down Feely and just like, yep, you don't know jiu-jitsu either, that would be wild.
Why? Feely knows jiu-jitsu.
He's got a piano pepperoni jiu-jitsu belt.
Yeah, he's got a... Yeah, what does that mean?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's like, you got a nice fucking belt guy. You're still a white belt.
No, but I mean, I think over there at Alpha Male, they've got they got a couple really good jiu-jitsu guys, like a couple world champions.
Yeah, no, they got really good guys. I was just breaking balls, but
So, I mean, I would imagine.
And he's been training long enough that he's on paper at minimum a purple belt. Yeah.
Yeah.
But now you know Bill Algio? Well, that's who's fighting Ricardo Lamas now. So who do you have in that fight?
Ricardo Lamas.
I thought you'd go that way.
What bout is Ricardo Lamas?
Second, or at least this isn't an official bout order, but this has him listed as a second bout.
So you're gonna tell me this is a no-name card and he's not the co-main event?
He was the co-main event until Ryan Hall fell out.
And then they're like, all right. Well,
yep.
Who's the main event?
I'll get to that. Magomed Ankalaev versus Ion Cutelaba.
Ion, duh.
That's the guy who paints himself as the Hulk?
I actually love that guy.
Oh, you didn't even know who he was?
I didn't.
But yeah, that guy.
He gets fucking like pissed and like yells in people's faces and shit.
Yep.
That guy's fucking tough.
He's tough.
And they've been promoting him.
Oh, and then this one, Ji Yeon Kim versus Alexa Grasso.
I did see this matchup. I gotta go Alexa though.
I love Alexa Grasso, so I'm gonna root for her and hope she wins. And then this is why they're no longer the co-main event. This fight's really fucking good.
Magney?
Neil Magney versus Robbie Lawler.
That's for co-main?
Yeah.
Who's the main event?
Aleksandar Rakić versus Anthony Smith.
Oh, right. I did see them promoting Anthony Smith.
Yeah, but I feel like even that, for me, it should be Robbie Lawler versus Magney. Even though they're ranked...
1,000,000%.
But they're ranked 13 and 14, and Anthony Smith are ranked, and his opponent are ranked 5 and 9.
Yeah, I've also seen lower ranked guys be like third down the card versus like someone who's not ranked at all versus like a number 13 ranked guy.
But for the name aspect, I think it should have been Robbie Lawler, Magney, main event.
Right.
But I know that's a late notice fight because I think Robbie Lawler's jumping in short notice for somebody.
Yeah, Robbie Lawler's the man. I got Robbie Lawler just because he hits fucking hard. But Milton and Magney could take a fucking hit. I watched him get fucking piss pounded, almost die to Hector Lombard, and then just come back somehow.
So now here's a scenario. I like Neil Magney, but I've probably picked against him in every fight of his career.
Wow.
And I'm going to do it again.
You just look at him and you're like, he doesn't have a mean face.
Yeah, but I know he was in like the military.
He doesn't get angry when he fights either. Like there's nothing that he's just like.
He was in the military, and they have like an army combatives tournament, and he won that. You know what I mean? It's probably equivalent to like an similar to an Ultimate Fighter tournament, but bigger. You know what I mean?
It's people that don't know how to fight.
Yeah, it's amateur fighting, but I'm just saying, it's like, you know, you go through a fucking.
Yeah.
So that's where he came into like how he got into MMA. So that's where I like. When he was on the Ultimate Fighter, that's where he came on my radar. Like, oh, so he's probably going to win this show. He's been through this already. You know what I mean? And then I've picked against him every fight, but he wins.
Yeah, I definitely picked him a few times.
So Anthony Smith versus Aleksandar Rakić.
I got Ratchik. Is he? What color is he?
What?
You black dude?
White dude. He's the guy who knocked out. Remember Jimmy Manuel got flatlined with a head kick?
Oh, I'm gonna go Smith. Fought for a title. You know, he just. I thought because he was fighting Jon Jones, he was like, I'm fighting Jon Jones, and just underperformed. I think he's better than that.
And Jon Jones just like, I'm gonna beat up this guy Anthony tonight for a little bit. Not gonna hurt him. Just gonna fuck him up a little bit.
But hey, Buzz, I gotta shower and pee really bad.
All right.
And go.
I like where your head's at.
Good episodes. Good seeing it, Stan. I gotta see it in real person though soon.
Yeah, but we gotta pick it up, and we gotta you gotta give me times, and I'll start lining up some guests for us.
I mean, the summer's coming to an end, but hurricane season's not completely done, so we'll see.
Oh, so you think you got more coming up? You got to keep the lights on?
Usually, you know, September shit gets a little wild too, but we'll see.
All right, well, it was good seeing you, and thanks for stopping by.
Episode
88.
88. Well, see you later.
You guys stay classy out there.
All right, bye.